Mavs fans, what is going on? Welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports, and today I've got for you 5 players the Dallas Mavericks need to look at in the 2019 NBA Draft. But before I give you my list, I want to know from you guys who you want to see the Dallas Mavericks select with that 37th overall pick. Of course, it's second round, so you got to be realistic with me. But let's talk about 5 guys that could potentially fall at 37. I just don't really see it happening. Now, number 1, Matisse Thybulle, best defender in this draft. Projected to go top 20. Don't expect him to be there at 37, but if he is, Mavs will swoop him up. Luka out of Croatia. If he falls, another Luka in Dallas would be fun, but I think he's going in the first round. Carson Edwards, a great player out of Purdue, followed by Bruno Fernando and Nick Claxton, 2 big men that have the potential to fall to 37, but I wouldn't count on it. Now, if you do want to see who ends up at 37, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/chatsportstv, and you're following me on Twitter at all_things_Mavs, where I'll be keeping you updated with every single Dallas Maverick rumor all off season long. So now I just told you about those 5 guys that could potentially fall to 37. Not likely, but which of them would you like to see in a Dallas Maverick uniform next season the most? For me, it's Matisse Thybulle. If Dallas can get that kind of defense on the wing, they're going to be ready to go for next season. But now let's get into some more of these realistic targets at 37 for the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Draft. And it all starts with Louis King out of Oregon. This guy is an incredible athlete, but he has a ton of room to grow. He's only 20 years old, but the NBA body to play right now. He's also an incredible defender, which of course the Mavericks need. We know they need some perimeter defense around Luka Doncic. And then three-point shooting is also a huge strength of King when he was playing at Oregon. The only reason this guy is going to fall into the second round is because he's got some attitude issues. And it's pretty obvious that Rick Carlisle and the Dallas Mavericks don't stand for that, so maybe he could straighten him out if he goes to the Mavs at 37. And if he does, this is what you get out of him. 2018-19 season at Oregon, 13 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists. He wasn't dishing the ball all that much as he was on the wing. And then there you have it, the three-point percentage at 38.6%. The dude can knock it down from 3. So here's a guy I compare him to. It's Cam Reddish, because Reddish and King have almost the exact same measurements, and they put up very similar numbers. Now, of course, Cam Reddish was at Duke, where Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett were holding the reins, and Louis King was only, probably the main guy on that Oregon team, but both of them 6'8", both of them right around 200 pounds. They both have a 7-foot wingspan and 19 and 20 years old. I mean, the prospects and the build are almost the exact same. If King can get dialed in, he's going to be a really good role player at the next level, and maybe even for the Dallas Mavericks with the 37th overall pick. Now, another guy that a lot of Mavs fans have kind of begun to fall in love with is Daniel Gafford out of Arkansas. The dude can absolutely fly to the rim. I know all Maverick fans remember Brandon Wright and the lob threat that he was, even Tyson Chandler in the pick and roll with him. Think those guys with Daniel Gafford, because the lob threat this guy possesses is absolutely ridiculous. He's going to get every dunk around the rim, and look, if he's used in Rick Carlisle's pick and roll system, he's going to score a lot of points off alley-oops. And then here's the thing with Daniel Gafford. Last season, he was projected to go in the lottery, but he decided to stay at Arkansas for a sophomore season. And NBA scouts kind of wanted to see him develop some sort of mid-range jumper, maybe even get a jump shot that extended out beyond the three-point arc, but that just did not happen. So last season, in his sophomore year at Arkansas, he scored 16.9 points per game, pulled down nearly 9 boards, and then shot 66% from the field, because all of his shots were coming from around the rim. Not to mention, he blocked 2 shots per game, because that elite athleticism allows him to protect the rim really well. Did it in college, could definitely do it at the next level. So let's say the Mavericks decide they want to draft him with that 37th pick. All of a sudden, you got 3 guys that are going to be lob threats on every single offensive possession for the Mavs. Kristaps Porzingis, of course, he's 7'3", but he also measured in a 38-inch max vertical. So yeah, the guy can jump and the guy can catch the ball around the rim. And then Dwight Powell, saw it a lot last season in Dallas. The pick and roll, he's great in it. 35-inch vertical for him. And then there's Daniel Gafford. If he comes in, he's got the 36-inch vertical at 6'11". There's not a lot of players in the league that are going to be able to break up a pass that are lobbed up to any of these guys. But of course, all these guys are bigs. Daniel Gafford, 6'11", he's going to play the forward or center position. I don't know if he spends some time in the G League before getting in the NBA and real minutes there, but if he does, the Mavs might like him. But I want to know from you guys, from Mavs Nation, which position does Dallas need to focus in on with their second-round pick? Should it be a wing? I think it should be a wing like Louis King, type W in the comment section below. If you would like to see a big pick there at 37 for Dallas, type B in the comment section below. And then, heck, if you want a point guard, which I know a lot of Mavs fans don't because they just want Luka Doncic to handle the ball all the time, just type P in the comment section below for whichever position you think the Mavs need to draft this summer. Now, the next guy the Dallas Mavericks will almost for sure be looking at in the NBA draft, if he's there at 37, it's Admiral Schofield. Just a great wing, 6'4", 240 pounds. I mean, you see him on the court, you think he's a professional bodybuilder that's just wearing a basketball jersey for fun. He's absolutely ripped, and he is super athletic. He logged the fastest shuttle time among all forwards at the NBA Combine. He can get up and down the court, and he can defend at an elite level. Another thing I really like about Schofield, not just for the Mavs, but as an NBA draft prospect, is that this guy transformed his jump shot from his freshman year to his senior year at Tennessee. I mean, it went from you don't really want to see him shooting a three to, hey, when we need a three-pointer, you're our go-to guy. This past season, 16.5 points per game at Tennessee, despite that ugly orange that they have to wear over there. 6.1 rebounds as a guard. He's going to bully bully smaller guards around because of his size and his athleticism. And then the 2.0 assists per game. But look, that three-point percentage, 41.8%. The dude is going to knock it down, and he actually has pretty good range for a guy that shoots them. So look at what the Mavs could potentially have off the bench if they add a guy like Admiral Schofield, who is an experienced rookie coming in. And we all know that the Dallas Mavericks and Rick Carlisle love that kind of rookie. The bench looks pretty solid. You bring back a healthy J.J. Barea, who averaged 10.9 points per game last season. Then you put Admiral Schofield in the same backcourt with him, and he makes up for whatever defensive liability J.J. Barea is. Justin Jackson showed out pretty nicely after coming over in that trade from Sacramento. Maxi Kleber in at center, even though I know he's more of a power forward. And Dorian Finney-Smith, another guy. Now, both of them, Kleber and Finney-Smith, are free agents, but they're restricted, and the Mavs would love to bring them back. So this lineup, you throw in Admiral Schofield off the bench, that's pretty darn nice. Now, another guy I would love to see on the Dallas Mavericks, it's Dylan Windler out of Belmont. And, you know, a lot of people might not have heard of this guy because, well, he's from Belmont, and it's just a small school, but he is an absolutely incredible shooter. The guy can shoot from anywhere on the court. I mean, if he steps over the half-court line, he is a threat to score the ball. And he's got like a 37-inch vertical, which you wouldn't expect. So when he gets around the rim, he can finish above the rim as well. Now, of course, playing for Belmont hurt his draft stock a lot, and he is a senior, so he's an older guy. So these top-tier teams are probably going to pass on him. But the Mavs would definitely consider him at 37. Think of Doug McDermott, who was a Dallas Maverick at one time. That's potentially what Dylan Windler could be for the Mavs. 21.3 points per game and 10.8 rebounds as a guard. Now, he was the only real player on that Belmont team, but that doesn't change the fact that he shot 42.9% from beyond the three-point arc. Dylan Windler is a baller, no matter which school he went to. And so you look at the three-point shooters for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, these are the guys that were on the team the entire season, not guys like Harrison Barnes or Wesley Matthews that got traded away in the middle of the year. These are guys that were on the team the entire season that'll be coming back next year. Ryan Brokoff, 40.9%. Great. He barely played. Maxi Kleber, 35.3% from beyond the three-point arc. He really improved that shot. Jalen Brunson also didn't really play until the back half of that year after Dennis Smith Jr. was gone, and J.J. Barea went down with injury, 34.8% from three. Of course, the prize rookie Luka Doncic, 32.7%. Kind of took a dip near the end of the season when his usage went up. And then Salah Mejri was your fifth best shooter at 32.4%. And the guy took like 25 threes, so that doesn't even really count. So you bring in Dylan Windler, and all of a sudden that three-point percentage and that offense in Dallas steps way up. But what do the Mavs need more? Now, I asked you which position just a little bit earlier, if it was a big, a point guard, or a wing. But now, let's simple it down. Do they need offense more, or do they need defense more? If you think they need offense, which Dylan Windler brings you, type O in the comments section. If you need defense, like a guy like, I don't know, Matisse Thybulle, type D in the comments section below. Now on to our last guy. Of course, we can't talk about the Mavs without talking about international prospects. And Deividas Sirvydis is absolutely a great international product in the second round. Now, he's only 18 years old, but the guy says he's ready and wants to play in the NBA. Now, whether he actually will or not next year remains to be seen. But the guy is a great shooter. I just talked about how good of a shooter Dylan Windler is. Just think of a Lithuanian Dylan Windler. That's what Sirvydis is here. And he runs the floor well, really, really well on fast breaks. I love what I saw in a lot of different games in the EuroLeague from Sirvydis. And then, again, he needs to develop that body. I mean, he's only 18 years old, so he's got a lot of room to grow. But Tony Ronzoni, who is the Mavs international scout, was asked earlier about this guy, and he said, I don't want to say too much. I'm going to keep it hush-hush, which probably means the Mavs like him and don't want to tell any other teams too much about him. So, of course, the Mavs love their international prospects, and you look at the guys that will be on the team next season. Luka Doncic from Slovenia, Kristaps Porzingis from Latvia, and Tony Ronzoni also went on record saying that both of those guys were #1 on their draft boards at the time. Dwight Powell from Canada, Maxi Klebas from Germany, and JJ Barea from Puerto Rico. And this doesn't even mention guys like Ryan Broekhoff, who is from Australia, and guys like that. So let's talk a little bit more about Sirvydis. What did he do last season? Well, it's tough to really take their points per game because he was, playing with grown men and he had limited time. But his per 36 minutes, per 36 stats were pretty nice. 14.2 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.7 assists. He's got to up that passing, but the three-point shooting is what's making him popular on NBA draft boards. 46.3% from three per 36 minutes. So let's take a look at his best game when he was playing in the 2018-19 Euro Cup. He scored 17 points and dished out 4 assists. Again, the assist numbers aren't that good, but the three-pointers, again, 3 of 4 from beyond the three-point arc in that Euro Cup game, and he played 30 minutes. So when he gets consistent minutes, you can see what Sirvydis can do. I would not be surprised to see him in a Maverick uniform next season, or at least as the Mavericks pick and then a draft and stash kind of guy. But there are a ton of guys in this draft that I didn't get to talk about. We only talked about 5, I guess 10 if you count the 5 that might fall. But I want to know from you guys, from the Mavs Nation, who else should the Dallas Mavericks consider with that 37th overall pick? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.